Tomorrow on Netflix, he places Seth Rollins, WWE Raw on Netflix. CM Punk. CM, what it do?
Yes, sir.
Don't mind me, CM. I got a little celebration. Going to celebrate you. You celebrate me. We
I'm
celebrate
drinking my
us.
sparkling water for both of you gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
CM,
I'm not feeling
good.
I'm not feeling good, CM. My Bengals are going home. Unc is making fun of me. He's embarrassed me in front of people I love.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to get over it. I'm trying to find ways to get around the fact that we not only did we lose, the Chiefs didn't even try today. They didn't even pinch the Broncos. They didn't fight. They just laid down. They laid down. So I have no way to actually to fight for myself. I'm doing everything I can not to cry tonight. So far, I'm doing okay.
Your head above water. If I could give you any bit of advice, this is coming from a Chicago sports fan. Bears, Cubs. There's always next year, Chad. There's always next year.
I like that. I'll take
CM, that's what I was going to get. Your Bears did something that hadn't been done since 2018. They beat the Green Bay Packers. It was the final game of the season, but it showed you, hopefully it gave you hope, showed you what could potentially be for your Chicago Bears.
Hope is a four-letter word in Chicago sports. There was hope at the beginning of the season. I just am comforted in the fact that I can at least make fun of the Green Bay Packers and their fans for losing to this Bears squad.
Battling Seth Rollins. Now,
Yes, sir.
This is a beef that you guys have had brewing for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Are we going to settle this tomorrow?
I would love. When it comes to me, I don't know if they didn't have like a real strong father figure or whatever, but no, I would love to say I'm moving on to bigger and better things. I would love to be wrong about that too, but I think this is one of those. This is one of those Hogan Savage deals that's going to just go on for as long as the beef has already been festering. 10 plus years. We're talking a decade here. I don't think even as big a night as debut on Netflix, and then no matter how bright the lights are, I think this one's going to fester for a while.
So, what would be your message to Rollins and his fans coming in tomorrow's match? What's your message? What do you want to say to him? If he's listening right now, I know some of his fans are, but if he was listening right now, what would you tell him?
I'd say the same thing I just said to Mr. Ocho Cinco. There's always next year. Cry about it. I get it, but tomorrow's not your night.
Right. Oh man.
Let me ask you this: and if you win tomorrow, do you have your eyes set on WrestleMania?
I got my eyes set on WrestleMania, yeah, but that's a couple months away. The next step after I beat Rollins tomorrow is Royal Rumble.
Okay.
We don't got no off season here. It's just constantly go, go, go. I got some stuff to prove still. I got hurt last year's Rumble, so I'm still looking to come back and get a W in that one.
Let me ask you this: you own the Bears. You were on Netflix special when they had the Christmas Day game, and you were very outspoken about your Bears ownership. You bro, y'all need to sell the team.
Yeah.
This has been terrible for a long time, and it's been a long time coming. Given what you saw today, they beat the Packers for the first time in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Does that give you hope that they're trending in the right direction, that they have the right pieces in place, even if they don't have a coach currently?
Yeah, I think the coach is obviously a big part of it, unless they're going to field a team with no coach, which might be kind of interesting at this point because, we had Lovie Smith, great coach, right? Super elite, dynamic.
Went 10-6 and got fired.
Yeah, and he couldn't figure it out, you know. So after a while, listen, this is I was born and raised in Chicago, 85 Bears. I could sing you the Super Bowl shuffle backwards. You know what I mean? That I look back at it and historically, everything I know now, I look at that team and I'm like, that should have been a dynasty. Buddy Ryan, Ditka, like all those players, like when we only won one, and it just feels like as a Chicago sports fan, you get that one. And then it just feels like another 100 years of pain because you're just like, well, we won then, you know, Cubs fans, 108 years. And now all of a sudden it's just like, oh, well,
But you
we won.
had Jordan, VM. You had Jordan for those years.
Yeah, but that's, to me, that's the standard of being a Chicago sports fan, brother. Like, yeah, 100%. We expect and we demand greatness, you know? We get these generational players, these generational talents and stuff like that. I can only look at the management and the ownership after a while when all these pieces are in place and nothing works. You know, after a while, looking at the McCaskies and I'm hearing chatter about, oh, we need a new stadium, you know, because the city owns Soldier Field and we're not getting concession money. And after a while, I'm just like, okay, you're just a greedy owner and you don't care about winning. Sports fans all across the world, no matter where you're at, whatever city you're in, you rep that city, you love that city, you show out for that city, you want winners. And that's the bottom line. I need an owner who's going to field a team of winners.
See, you mentioned that you got injured. You sustained an injury last year. If you don't mind, reflect on that injury. What happened, and what's the worst injury that you have sustained in your professional wrestling career?
Oh man, I think this one was pretty bad just because of you know, my age and everything. And I tore my right tricep tendon completely off the bone.
Okay.
And that's a bad one, especially I think in football, that's normally a career ender, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not a career, but it's normally season ending.
Okay. Yeah. The season, my season definitely ended that day. that's for certain. I had a night where woe is me, and I cried about it, and I was upset. I just come back to the WWE after 10 years of being gone, and was looking forward to doing just awesome stuff and help, you know. And as an athlete, who's somebody who's active every day, you guys know, if you can't play, if you can't do what you do, if you can't go to the gym, you lose your mind. And I lost my mind. I felt bad about it for about 8 minutes, had a cry, and then realized that at that moment it felt like the worst thing that had ever happened to me. So I wanted to do the impossible and flip it and make it the best thing that ever happened to me, you know. I think we did that over the year. Fortunately for me, you know, in the sport and the business we're in, we don't always have to be 100%. And I was injured on a sling, and I was in the ring. I was, you know, talking my mess, cutting promos and stuff like that, and I was still able to contribute. So that was like a weight off my shoulders.
When you sustained that injury, did you know something right away was wrong?
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've ever done a tricep, but it just feels like a rubber band in your elbow snaps.
Okay.
I've done my left one, no pain in that one. The right one, it hurt like a son of a bitch, and I don't know why. I don't know what the difference was between the two. But yeah, I knew I was out immediately.
Can I ask you this? What can we expect from the WWE on Netflix as opposed to cable?
I don't know. We're all going to find out together. I think personally, the format of the show is going to be a little bit different. I think people are asking questions about commercials. You know, obviously on cable, we gotta, you know, we have a lot of mouths to feed. Gotta pay the beast. I like to say, and that's going to be the same on Netflix. But I think it's also going to be different. I think you're going to see stretches where you're getting the first hour, maybe the first 90 minutes commercial free. Okay. And I don't know if it's going to be picture in picture. These are questions for people in a production truck. But I just know because Netflix is streaming and it's not cable, we're not going to be kind of up against
You're not bound by the same standards on cable,
right? Like especially like time constraints. You know, that's like the biggest difference between wrestling for just an audience or wrestling for television. Like you got to know when your breaks are, how long the breaks are, how much time you got left in a show, when it's drop dead, if you got an extra 5-minute overrun. You know, because there's another show after yours. You know, so it's not like football where it's just like, hey, we're continuing this until the last whistle, until this game is over, or even then, you're getting a crawler saying, hey, we're on FS1, we're switching over to FS2 because this other game's bumping us and stuff like that. So there's definitely some stuff that we're gonna be working out as we go. But I love that. I love that live TV chaos. Anything can happen and anything can go wrong atmosphere.
You know what?
Did you go ahead, Ocho?
Hey, I have a question. Obviously, being a wrestling fan from young, even still to this day, is there a dream match that you have? Is there a dream match that you have involving a legend from either the past or currently today that you haven't had, or you would like to have?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, when they ask me that question, or when I hear somebody ask me that question, one name always comes to mind: is Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know,
Bret Hart.
Unfortunately, he had to retire because of like injuries, and he had a stroke and everything like that. But Bret Hart's another one. Bret Hart would be a dream for me because that's a guy that I looked up to when I was a kid. That's a guy that helped get me into this sport just from an interest perspective. And that's a guy to this day. I could text Bret right now and be like, what's up, Bretsky? I have a question. I need some advice. And he'll let me hit me back up like right away. So much love to him. Got to mention him. And there's just, I think we have a pretty wealthy locker room when it comes to talent right now. So there's a lot of people that I would love. I'd love to get in there with Gunther. He's the champ on Raw. Love to mix it up with my boy Cody. But as far as the legends go, the ones that probably aren't going to happen, but they're dream matches, I think Austin's up there. Austin's number one with a bullet.
Sam, did you always want to be a wrestler? Did you play sports growing up? Did you know watching this like this is the direction that I want to go and I want to be in this sport?
Yeah, I played baseball when I tried out for my football and wrestling team when I was in high school, but they told me I had to cut my hair, and I pieced out after that. I was like, and now I look, and every jock in the world just got like a wild mohawk, and I'm like, that was me when I was 14. Like, why wouldn't you let me on the team? What the heck? I didn't. I grew up. I like to say I was economically challenged. You know, so like most of the sports were pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't play hockey because I couldn't afford skates or pads or sticks. Baseball was pretty cheap, and then everything. I was a catcher. Everything changed for me when I had to get glasses. The mask wouldn't fit over my Coke bottle glasses, and my parents wouldn't spend the money for contacts. So my baseball career was cut short.
Wow. WrestleMania 41 is in Las Vegas. You say Raw is after the Netflix special that you have with Cody Rollins. So
I forget his name all the time too. Don't worry about it, man. He's all good.
Let me ask you this, because like a lot of times we see these big matches, but there are other matches in between that you're wrestling. So how do you prepare? How do you because you're traveling at least 200, I'm assuming 200 plus days a year, correct?
Yeah. It definitely used to be back in the day. Now things have changed, you know, and things have changed because of these big TV deals, you know, this big Netflix deal. The money that was in wrestling used to be kind of driven by live events. We would do a TV on a Monday, but I'd be on the road Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We would record SmackDown on a Tuesday, so I would be on the road 5 days a week, 6 days a week. That's on top of all the press and everything else you're doing. Nowadays, it's a lot less. I think it's better. I think it's better for all the athletes, but you wind up, I think, missing out on those live shows where you're just wrestling for fans. You're not necessarily wrestling for TV.
Hey, it's the Good Rig Spiro, and in the swamp, it gets loud, it gets crazy, it gets epic. That's what
is where, you know, I was on I was in Pittsburgh doing the Netflix thing for the football game.
Yes.
And then we went to Madison Square Garden, went back to Pittsburgh, went to Baltimore, cut over to Chicago, and then down to Houston for TV. And like that is my bread and butter. Being on the road, hanging out with the boys, getting to interact with fans. You just have a lot. I don't want to say more fun because TV can be fun, but TV's more of a high pressure, you know, situation.
Sam, would you say that the wrestling now is more conducive for a family as opposed to was in the past when you had to do all that traveling and you got a wife or you got a significant other or you got kids. This world we live in now, or I should say you live in now, is more conducive for a family.
Oh, 100%. If you're an active wrestler, yeah. I used to be on the road, and it was. I looked at it like it was easy for me because it's still a challenge. But I was young and I was single. I didn't have any kids. I felt like I didn't have any responsibilities. I bought a house. I was just never in it. I'd lock it and leave it. You know what I mean? And then I could stay. You know, if we had a loop that ended in San Francisco and the next one started in LA, I would just stay in California.
Right.
Guys who had marriages and kids, I don't know how they did it, and a lot of them didn't, because we look at the wreckage of the past and like we see
Right.
a lot of broken marriages and alienated kids and stuff like that. But today is much more conducive for like a family unit.
LA, when it's all said and done, and you eventually retire, you hang it up, where do you see yourself? Training the next generation, working behind the scenes like Triple H, or maybe start your own promotion?
Yeah, Mochocinco knows
What do
his
you think?
stuff.
Oh no! If I start my own promotion, I want you to find me wherever I am and just kick my ass. That's about the worst idea, man.
Right.
No, I do think there is.
He wants to work in NXT.
There's an avenue for me to continue to be in the business, behind the scenes, helping. But I think if you're worth your weight, you're doing that now. I think on a football team, on a hockey team, on a baseball team, there's the veterans that help bring in the new talent.
He's doing that
young
in
guys,
NXT.
Right.
and
He's
they
always
help,
back there
move things along.
every Tuesday.
But 3 parts to a career, right? You start, and to me, that's when you learn. There's the middle part, that's where you earn, and the third part is return.
Yeah.
Now you give back. So I would definitely look forward to that third act and giving back to the business. To me, has given me so much.
See, everyone, thank you. Tomorrow marks the premiere of WWE Raw on Netflix. Catch all the action at 8 p.m. Eastern. CM Punk, thank you for joining Nightcap. We greatly appreciate that, man. Good luck. Now, when we tune in and we talk to you in a couple of months, now we want to make sure that you've done what you say you're gonna do. Like you're gonna take care of business.
I promise you, brother, 100%. Yeah, I'm walking in. I'm walking into the Inuit Dome tomorrow night, and I'm walking out a winner, and I'm gonna have myself a big steak afterwards after kicking Seth Rollins' ass. It's gonna be fun.
And let me tell you, if at any point you need a partner, tag team at that, I'm always available.
Let's go. As long as your last name's not McCaskey, you're my Huckleberry.
All right, I got you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
CM, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.